It is Sports Now with Darius and Aiden coming to you on a blockbuster trade NBA Wednesday, everybody. What's up, everybody? I'm Darius. I'm Snatching the Munson. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Now, Darius and Aiden. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to comment down below about your thoughts about this video. And make sure to also hit that bell for a post notification for every video and update from our channel so you can get updates about every video we upload. But Aiden, today, a couple of hours ago, we received the news that the trade we expected has finally happened. James Harden is now going to join Kyrie Irving and reunite with Kevin Durant and become a Brooklyn Net and form that star-studded Big Three in Brooklyn. Aiden, for the full details of this trade, the Houston Rockets have traded their superstar, the All-NBA former MVP of this league, James Harden, to the Brooklyn Nets. In return, they received Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum, Radion Caruso, 3 Brooklyn first-round picks, 1 Milwaukee first-round pick, 4 Brooklyn first-round swaps. As I mentioned, Victor Oladipo, who trades from the Pacers to the Rockets. And the original trade, it was going back and forth. So from what I've heard, Aiden, from Woj and Shams, the GOATs, Brooklyn originally traded Caris LeVert to Houston, but Houston, I don't know what happened, but Caris LeVert eventually went to the Indiana Pacers, and the Rockets received Victor Oladipo as a part of that blockbuster deal. But Aiden, there was another team in this trade, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They acquired Jarrett Allen and Torian Prince in this trade. And Aiden, I gotta start with this question. You got James Harden joining Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. This is a big three without a doubt. So Aiden, who won this trade? Do you have the Rockets? Do you have the Nets? Do you have the Pacers, or do you have the Cavs? I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Pistons, Cavs. Go ahead.
No, it's not. It's sure not the Pacers. You lost your best or second best player depending on how he would have played the season. I think he's the best player on the team. I really like Victor Oladipo. I saw this coming ever since they got swept last playoffs. I knew Victor Oladipo was going. I just didn't know when. And when the season started, I was like, yeah, they're not getting this trade done this year. But whoops, all of a sudden, this just explodes on top of us. So, yeah, I like it for Victor Oladipo. Do not like it for the Pacers. The Brooklyn Nets finally got that big three, which, by the way, is going to be the most controversial big three of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, you have Kyrie Irving and James Harden partying at strip clubs constantly. You have KD trying to be the bigger man and stand in that interview and look sane. And then you've got Steve Nash calling plays, wondering what the hell I'm going to do when all his players have COVID-19. That's a topic for another day. And then you have the Rockets, who have enough first round picks to draft me and Darius. That's how stacked they got. They have first round picks past. They have first round picks past when me and Darius would have been eligible for the NBA draft if we played basketball. So obviously, I have to go with the Houston Rockets, considering we don't know. They've got first-round picks for a long time. We're going to look at some of these amazing high school players that are going to come out in the next couple of years. We're looking at Chet Holmgren. We're looking at Emoni Bates. We're looking at, obviously, Mikey and Bronny. Jesus, don't tear me in the comments for not mentioning them. We're looking at a lot of amazing players coming up in the next couple of years to where Houston can build a literal super team over time. They're creating success over time. What the Brooklyn Nets have is they have a bigger window now, but it's not going to be as big as Houston's is when they get all those players. Houston has picks for miles and they can get younger guys. Brooklyn has KD, who is on the wrong side of 30. He's still a phenomenal player, but he's on the wrong side of 30. You have James Harden, who's entering his 30s, and you have Kyrie Irving, who's been injured for most of his 20s and now about to go into his 30s. they have a window. Their window is a 5-year window, maybe a 7-year window to get that championship done. If they don't win it within that window, this is going to be an ultimate failure on the highest of levels. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go with the Houston Rockets because of what they've got. They got longevity. The Brooklyn Nets didn't get longevity. They got short-term success. Houston Rockets got long-term success. That's how I'm going to put it.
Well, Aiden, first off, we knew this was coming, but we didn't know that this was this big of a trade. Now, with James Harden and his drama in these past couple of days, past couple of weeks, along with Kyrie Irving, this Brooklyn Nets team is about to have more drama than the Kardashians. They're about to have more drama than the Kardashians, and I feel sorry for Steve Nash because he's gonna have to channel his inner Phil Jackson to get these dudes to act right. Now, the Nets with this blockbuster trade, 3 very, very talented dudes, 3 of the most skilled players we have ever seen touch a court. Now, the Nets are about to be equivalent to putting Mentos into a Coke bottle, Aiden. Just gonna explode. Now, it's gonna explode. Now, Aiden, who won this trade? I look over the details about this trade, and if I had to rank it from first all the way down to 4, my guess would go with number 1, the Houston Rockets, number 2, the Indiana Pacers, number 3, the Brooklyn Nets, and then 4, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, number 1, let me start with the Houston Rockets. You're getting literally a beast in Victor Oladipo. Now, there are concerns about his contract because his contract is expiring, I believe, in this upcoming free agency. So you may have to worry about that. But you still have John Wall, you still have Boogie Cousins, 2 former All-Stars, 2 players that will still perform and show up time and time again. You brought in Dante, some phenomenal player, right? 3 Brooklyn first-round picks in the year 2022, 2024, 2026. A lot of talent. Aiden. You just mentioned Michael Williams, Brandon James, right? And those youngsters over there. 1 Milwaukee first-round pick. That's in 2022. And you also have 4 Brooklyn first-round swaps in 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027. I believe right now the Houston Rockets have the second most picks in this decade, only behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's a good thing. Now with the Pacers, with Caris LeVert, my man in the comment section probably coming in right now. Kawhi86, who was a Pacers fan. Who's a Pacers fan? He told me that he loves his trade. He loves his trade because they're bringing in a beast and Caris LeVert. As I mentioned, right, that upcoming contract with Victor Oladipo. Because look, if Victor Oladipo stayed and he left, the Pacers would have literally gotten nothing. And you had Caris LeVert, who last year averaged pretty much 20 points per game. You put him alongside Malcolm Brogdon, put him alongside Miles Turner, and Domantas Sabonis, an All-Star last season. This Indiana Pacers team is going to have a phenomenal season for the rest of the year, and they're most definitely a playoff team. Well, now with the Brooklyn Nets, this could either be a win-win or it could be a lose-lose. We all know the situation with James Harden, right? With him making a statement last night. And less than 24 hours after that statement, he was traded immediately. And that situation with Kyrie Irving not showing up. The Brooklyn Nets probably don't even know where he is. Last time we saw Kyrie Irving, he was in a video.
No, we bet all our money we have right now that they don't know where the hell Kyrie is.
Right, Eddie. Last time we saw Kyrie Irving, it was in a video at his sister's birthday party with him being maskless, and the NBA gets to decide when he returns back to the court. So he's not returning to the court for the rest of the week. Kevin Durant just scored, I believe, 35 points last night against the Nuggets. He has made many sacrifices for Kyrie Irving. And
will continue to make sacrifices when James Harden gets there. Just put that out there.
And will continue to make sacrifices for Kyrie Irving. But Aiden, the way the Brooklyn Nets are going at this may be a championship or bust season for the Brooklyn Nets. You have 3 of the most talented players to ever touch the court. And Aiden, I predicted the Nets to go to the Eastern Conference Finals even before they acquired James Harden. But if you don't even make the Eastern Conference Finals, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some problems, Aiden. And of course, we remember a couple of weeks ago, I believe a month or two ago, James Harden declined that 2-year, $100 million extension for the Rockets. And I believe his contract is expiring in the next 1 or 2 years. So the Brooklyn Nets may need to have.
Well, it's an interesting situation because he has a couple of years. Then he's got He's got like maybe 1 or 2 years, and he has a player option. Then he can choose to opt in or to opt out of his current deal.
Relatively weird contract. But with that being said, the Brooklyn Nets, as I mentioned earlier, win-win situation or lose-lose. Like I mentioned earlier, this team may have more drama than the Kardashians. They're the Kardashians, Aiden. And I think the Brooklyn Nets kind of lost out by losing pretty much all of their depth because don't forget Spencer Dinwiddie's out for the rest of the season. And you just gave up Karis LeVert. And you gave up Jared Allen. And you gave up Taurean Prince. And all the other pieces you have with Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan, Joe Harris, and the projected starting lineup for the rest of the season, you're gonna have Jeff Green starting the center. So it's a relatively small lineup. And small ball, we know what happens when you play small ball in the playoffs. It's most likely not gonna work. So we really don't know. Now that the Cavs are ranked the team that lost the trade, the team that shaky.
They didn't get anything. I mean, Colin Sexton and Darius Garland are clearly the identity of this team. Kevin Love in the background kind of struggling a little bit, but we don't have that big time player. We hope Colin Sexton will become what we think he'll become. All right, that top 10 pick. We hope Darius Garland will become what he will become as a first rounder, and we hope Kevin Love can get back on track, but that's highly unlikely at this point in time in this season and in this point in his career.
Now you look. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's good. I'm just gonna end off with saying this one. They need another guy on that team. Is what I'm gonna say.
No, but the Cavs, right? I believe they started the season undefeated. You have Andre Drummond, the rebounding machine. You have, of course, you mentioned Colin Sexton, Darius Garland. Don't forget, Kevin Love. But now you bring in Jared Allen, who's only 22 years of age and is young stud, one of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion. And you also bring in Taurean Prince, he can score the ball. But the Cavs right now, they're 5-7, 3 games behind first place, which is the Celtics right now, 7-3. They're 5-7, 3 wins and 7 losses in the past 10 games. So I believe the Cavs are trying to shake things up there. Are they a playoff team? I believe hell no. But you're adding some young pieces for a young squad that could be partially successful in the future. Aiden, do you have any final words on this trade in general? Any things you like to say?
If the Houston Rockets draft Bronny, it's going to be a different situation. That's a future thing, though. I enjoyed thoroughly looking through this trade. I liked what happened. I liked what happened for some teams, I'll say like that. I like where these new superstars are going. Brooklyn is a very big market in New York and will continue to be the mecca of entertainment, if you know what I mean. But other than that, nah, I don't have anything else to say.
My final words are that today was supposed to be a football Wednesday coming out with the Rams Packers NFL preview. We're gonna have to push that out. We're going to have to push that back until tomorrow. But with this trade here, it just puts the cherry on top. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Nerd Aiden for a special edition, a special report, if you may call it that. Right? Thank you for joining us here. I am Darius Adams, a surprise NBA fan. That's Aiden Munson, just one skeptical bandwagon Padres fan. But hey, until then, everybody, we will see you tomorrow, everybody. I'm Darius Adams, Aiden Munson. Until then, everybody, peace and love. Enjoy your life. See you tomorrow.